You gotta wait for me because.
Welcome to the Funny Science Fiction Live Podcast. Woo woo!
We got two people in the house. Yeah,
We made it.
Watts, is it Watts?
Kathleen and John are here. Welcome.
I hear you have a little one. It's awesome.
Great. Well, nice to see everybody's here. We're certainly enjoying having an opportunity to talk to everybody and get to know people. Whoever's like to give us some comments, we can pop up some of those comments as they make them. Deb will be in charge of that. And then Tim has some fun stuff to discuss with us. And then we'll share a few things what's happening on the podcast.
Yeah, so we're really excited to have everybody here. Yeah, if you're in and you've got comments, you've got questions, we're going to hopefully have a question and answer session here in just a few minutes with everybody. So first off, the first thing that we want to mention is
The spare room. I wish it was my room.
I think we just say that Tim's just extra. So we want to talk first and foremost about the meme contest that we're having inside of the Funny Science Fiction group. If you're a member of the Funny Science Fiction Facebook group and you haven't submitted a response to the meme contest that's pinned to the top of the page, you're going to want to do that very shortly here, because that meme contest is going to be going away and we're going to be declaring winners here shortly. So we want to remind everybody, give you one more chance to get your stuff in, get a chance to say hi, and Tim is just extra. Thanks, Kathleen. We'll kind of go from there. But so make sure you get it in. There's some really cool prizes, and as a matter of fact, those prizes are all going to be coming from Uncanny Brands, and so some really cool geek themed stuff. And seeing as how we are all awesome and fun geeks, let's have some fun with some geeky stuff. And Alan, speaking of geeky stuff,
we have a saying, since Tim is extra, we have a saying that I'm working with all my men and Tim.
Tim.
Because I'm working with Alan, my husband, and our sons are doing the backstage stuff usually. So, and Tim.
One thing, just a note to Facebook users, if you'd like your name to pop up in your comments, you have to go to StreamYard.com and do their thing, because Facebook doesn't pass the data to them anymore unless you go over there and tell them it's okay.
Facebook are jerks.
Yeah, Facebook's nice to us, aren't they? We love Facebook.
Yes, Facebook is the greatest. They're so nice.
Well, they just got rules. There's privacy stuff, I'm sure.
That's all good.
But yeah, so if you want your name to pop up, go through StreamYard, get that
Otherwise,
done.
we will call you anonymous user number 3.
Or you can go to you can watch through our YouTube channel, and that will automatically pop your name up because of your Gmail sign-ins. So what's the Alan? You want to talk about that? Oh yeah, we are on Twitch.
I haven't announced my Twitch channel to hardly anybody. It's Drayton Allen. Hey, what a coincidence! So if you go to Twitch, if you're a Twitcher, I think that's what they call themselves. You can see I'm really.
I don't think they call themselves Twitchers, Alan.
They just call themselves Twitchers.
I'm a Twitcher. I don't think. Hello, anonymous user number 45.
Hey, cool. Hey, he's one of my favorite anonymous users, by the way.
Slightly better than anonymous 43.
That's like,
yeah, 43. You know what happened with anonymous user 43? They were posting a lot of cool stuff, and then all of a sudden it was like.
And then they got a name, and nobody liked him anymore.
Right? A red shirt.
They must have been in a red shirt, and
That's right.
The amorphous alien blob finally caught up with them.
That's right.
We have something else going on that's kind of cool, and this is we'll get all our promotional stuff out of the way at the beginning. And this is my lightsaber that I just got in the mail. It is a hand blender.
Giggity, giggity.
It is capable of dismemberment, but just if you stick your finger in here, which is naughty, do not do that. Kids at home, do not ever put your finger in there.
So only little bits of dismemberment.
So it's not like a full lightsaber. But see, what's great is that you have, this is Anakin's lightsaber or Luke's, because of course Luke inherited Anakin's lightsaber when.
There it is.
Just don't point it directly at your face.
We can do one of these, and you can turn it on, and
recreate the meme directly.
Recreate the meme. We could do meme recreations. Somebody want to Photoshop the beam going through my head there? The cord. Nobody realizes this, but all the lightsabers in the movies are cordless, but this is the previous corded versions.
It was one of the early editions. That was pre-Clone Wars.
Hi, Drew.
Drew is my family name. That's interesting. My main name is Drew.
Debbie Drew. Yeah. How are you?
Class of 80.
So if you want to get one of those really cool immersion hand blenders, Alan, where can they find that?
They can find that at Uncanny Brands. I have a picture here I can pop up. If I've done this right, this is our first time live, so I am doing things wrong here and there. Can anybody see that? There it is.
Oh, yeah. There it is.
All right. This is the Star Wars lightsaber blender. Use the code Funny Sci-Fi for $5 off, and that's at uncannybrands.com.
So, and we'll include a link to that when we post this, the recorded version of this inside of the Funny Science Fiction Facebook group. So there'll be a link there. You guys can go there and just enter that code Funny Sci-Fi, and you get $5 off.
We have a commercial on for that on our YouTube thing too. So where they.
And just as a quick note, when you go there, the first time you go to Uncanny Brands, it'll offer you an additional 20% off. The 20% off does not work at the same time as the code, and you will actually save more money by using the code than you will by using the 20% off. So make sure you use the code. It's a much better deal.
Unless you're just buying the blender, then just use our code, and then you can save the 20% when you buy a bunch of stuff.
That's right. Yeah. So just use our code. Anyway, whatever you do when you go there, just use our code. Ignore the 20%.
They got some really neat stuff. They got toasters and popcorn makers, Star Wars, Marvel. They got all different name brand. I think they got Avengers, some Doctor Who things, but it's everything. So Mark Atruso, woo! Our spotlight.
Hey,
Mark.
Nice to see you. Testing 4, 5, 6.
Awesome. All right, here's the version with the code with the if you couldn't get the .com, here's the version with the .com. And this is our, again, Funny Sci-Fi, $5 off, the lightsaber blender. Guaranteed to take off a fingertip if you use it unwisely.
All right. So we have now, so many of you already know that we also have a couple other social media pages. We just started within the last month or so. We started out on Instagram and Twitter. If you're not following us there, you can look up the same user handle at both, at Funny Sci-Fi. So FUNNYSCIFI at both Instagram and Twitter. That'll get you to our pages. If we've reached out to guests, especially on Twitter, on any of our posts, somebody's gonna have to take that toy away from Alan.
Toy.
He's not making any noises with it. That's the sad part.
I was doing it to myself. I'm used to behaving.
Coffee and make it frothy with that.
So, but if you go to Instagram and Twitter, you can find our comments there. Help us track down some of these great content creators that we're trying to get a hold of. You liking our posts, asking them to come onto the show after we've commented to them, really kind of helps set the tone. And if you're watching from YouTube, that's where we host our podcast at. If you're watching from YouTube, make sure that you go to YouTube, click the subscribe button. So yeah, exactly, John. You have to make the sounds.
I thought Tim would make them for me. I mean,
well, I ended up doing that because you had one job, Alan. You had one job.
trying to
I
get
was
it
being
out.
polite and not talking over you or making sound effects.
Remember what Drew said? Drew said not to take off your fingers.
That's right.
Well, yeah. You know what? You
Take off the entire
arm. You would just have to work your way up, and it would be a lot.
You could, like I said, you can dismember them just in tiny little bits.
A bit at a time, you know. But no, it's about making smoothies, and of course, I make bulletproof coffee for it. So bulletproof coffee is
any coffee with
butter.
cream in it.
Everybody should put
Right
butter
up.
in their
So
coffee.
good.
So, but yeah, go to YouTube if you haven't already. Please give us a subscribe on YouTube. Subscribing on our YouTube channel helps us get more content out to you guys.
Yep. If you've seen an episode, let us know which one you've seen, what you liked about it. We'd love to hear it.
So Deb, let them know who we have for upcoming guests.
Well, tomorrow we have Keith Silverstein is going to be released tomorrow, and he's a voice guy. He does a lot of voices, which is really, really cool.
Ow.
What?
You had to go there, Mark.
No. Yeah.
That's a little more than a flesh wound.
Yes. All right.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, a flesh wound. Yes. Okay. We had Keith coming tomorrow. Keith Silverstein.
Yeah, that episode will be loaded on YouTube tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You'll have access to it.
And there is an update to Keith's, because when we interviewed him just a couple of 2 weeks ago, he said he had never had an opportunity to do anything Star Wars, and that just changed.
Did it really?
Yes.
Did he know that? That's cool.
So if any of you guys are playing Star Wars Squadrons, which is the brand new fighter pilot game that they just released, Keith is one of the characters inside of Star Wars Squadrons. So you'll be able to hear Keith's voice tomorrow once you start looking into that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
podcast. It's funny.
He said there are certain things he couldn't tell us because of contractual obligations.
That was one of them.
And that was one of them. So that was fun. That was a fun surprise.
It was about each of our guest spotlights about an hour, so that's not too long, but they're fun and enjoyable. We also have upcoming Sarah Warner. She's a writer and a podcaster.
So we're excited to have her.
Ray Warner.
Sarah's got some great stuff out there. If you're a creator, you got to follow Sarah's podcast, especially if you're a writer or a podcaster yourself. She has some awesome advice. She goes into marketing, public relations. She goes into encouraging you not to give up, all kinds of stuff. Yeah. She's a good gal.
Very positive. Yep. Enjoy her. She's a lot of fun. Marcin Sverkot. He does Nemesis, the game Nemesis.
Yeah. The CEO of Awaken Realms.
Awesome.
Awaken.
Yeah. Nemesis is their most famous game, and it is an awesome game by all accounts. I am looking forward to playing it once we are post-COVID. So my boys are all excited about it, so we'll probably be playing that soon.
What did you say, Mark?
Kylo is Lone Star's father. Uh-oh.
Can't back that up.
Can't back that up. Is the Schwartz with him?
Drew changed his name now. He's figured it out.
Yeah, he went in and signed in under.
Hey, Drew, there, you figured it out. Good, because I have no clue how to explain it to you other than.
I don't know. We kind of liked you as user 45. That was kind of
not the big helmet.
No big helmet. All right, and then member spotlights. So we
have James Ward. He's another one that we interviewed. He's an RPG maker.
Oh, yeah. Jim Ward. He is one of the He wrote one of the original D&D manuals, and he wrote Gamma World, which was the sci-fi role-playing game that TSR Hobbies did. So Jim Ward, fascinating guy. He also wrote a bunch of the, I think it was the Forgotten Realms novels. So he was a neat guy.
He's done a lot.
Yeah, he's,
Yep, and we got some member spotlights. Mark Artuso was one of them. We enjoyed.
We had a blast. We tortured a few people with some really fun contests. So that was nice. And some of them survived. Memeless.
Nice.
And then we had Greg Ludford as also a member spotlight. So we got a few more member spotlights.
Yes. And so you guys may have noticed we already did one with Ben Teeser, and now we have Mark and Greg coming up. And we got a couple other people who are interested in doing member spotlights. If you're interested in doing a member spotlight, please contact either Drayton or myself or Deb and let us know. And we will be more than happy to get you on the schedule. And so we can do, it's only about a 15 to 20 minute interview. Have a little fun, play a little game. Everybody goes away, fat, dumb, and happy. So it's a good time.
Yeah, Mark, it was back in the Gary Guy X days. In fact, he was in the group playing with Gary when they were developing stuff. And in fact, one of the characters was named after Jim Ward. And it's like spelled Jim Ward backwards.
Oh, that's right.
Remember?
Yeah.
That was Diminji or something. I can't remember now.
Yeah.
I'd have to type it.
I'm doing it now. Dramage.
Yeah. Dramage.
There, I typed it in.
Yeah.
Memej.
Yeah. So the
although I will tell you that Jim Ward doesn't like being accosted when he comes out of the bathroom. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. Jim couldn't resist himself. He wanted to pitch his great idea for
at a virtual con.
A
VirtueCon.
We had a little fun teasing the guy.
VirtueCon sounds like a really bad Terminator era
universe for sure.
Company.
Cool. Awesome.
Well, I'm sure that some people do, Kathleen.
Nice. That's cool, Drew. Yeah, it is a small universe. He's over in Wisconsin. We should say we don't brag too much about this, but we're from Michigan, and we're not far from the Detroit area.
I live here.
Yeah, we're here.
He's here.
I don't know which way my hand goes.
Well, always use your right hand, and then just your
right
hand? Yes, it's your right hand that looks like the state of Michigan.
Well, to you, but to me, it's just like...
Well, don't look at the camera. Just hold it up and.
There it is. We live here. Tim's over here. Detroit's over here. This is all Canada. Well, the UP's up here.
Yeah, we gotta get
you live on Tatooine.
Only for the purposes of this discussion.
People in Michigan can't tell you where they live without using their hand.
And well, frankly, no, we can't. But on the other side of things, being on the west side of the state, I am awfully close to the sand dunes, and it does kind of look like a little bit of this all the way around.
And look like
you are. Do you have the sandworms over there? And do you get spice at any discounted prices?
No extra discounts on the spice, but there are worms. They're just not big enough to anybody to worry about.
Yes. So we had a lot of fun with Jim. We have a lot of fun with all our guests.
Every one of them has been a blast.
Yeah.
I'm not always on the screen, but I'm right next to Drayton laughing.
Yeah, she's usually stabbing me in the ribs because I forgot something. So if you see me do this.
The UP is like Southern Canada.
Eh?
No.
Yeah, hey there.
Hey there. From the
you hosers.
So that's good now, but we had I know there's one
Kick
thing
off, you knob.
Found was interesting when I talking to people from the UP, they considered anything south of Mackinac to be Detroit. And then when I lived in northern Michigan up by Grayling, they considered everything south of Clare to be Detroit. And then when I lived over by Grand Rapids, everything east of Lansing was Detroit. When I lived in Lansing, everything east of Brighton is Detroit. And now, so
anybody outside of the state of Michigan, it's Detroit.
So, and then, yeah, if you go anywhere else, you say you're from Michigan, and they go, "Oh, Detroit."
How close are you to Detroit? Are you scared to go there? Not close, and no, I'm not scared to go there.
However, when I lived in New York,
alien bears.
Alien bear.
Those are the worst ones.
When I lived in New York, they asked me if I was worried about bears, if we had a lot of bear problems in Michigan.
When we lived in Iowa, they thought Michigan was the UP because that's what's connected to Wisconsin over there. And we're like, no, we're in the Lower Peninsula. They're like, where? They like didn't even know it was there.
Yeah, Flint, you need a tail gunner just to go through town.
Yeah,
So,
they've seen better times.
Yes, they have.
So the podcast, we're really happy with the success we've had this far. We just started it here September 1st, and we've had phenomenal response, and we're getting some phenomenal guests. And of course, we have a bunch of phenomenal members in our group. So it's been a lot of fun, and it continues to be. It's only going to get better, especially once we learn what we're doing.
We're still kind of stumbling through this, a little bit of trip and fall, and hopefully you land in the right spot and you get to the right people, and so far, I think anytime that we've really needed something, anytime that we've really needed the right guest or the right thing at the right time, we've been very fortunate. One more thing I want to talk about, and Drayton, you holding up that cup kind of reminded me before we get into, we want to open this up for questions and like a Q&A session with you guys. So if you have questions, suggestions of things that we or people that we could be talking to that you would like to see us kind of go out and try and find and talk to, you'll have a moment here. In a moment here, you'll be able to suggest that. See, this is all that would all have been edited out.
That's how we actually talk most of the time. Nick does his magic with the editor.
Right. Our shadow mage.
So this is why they have advised us against doing live shows.
So if you see this mug, it says, I gave to the Red Shirt Widows and Orphans Fund. We talk a lot about the Red Shirt Widows and Orphans. In fact, I'll stand up here. I am wearing my Red Shirt Widows and Orphans t-shirt. Now, if you guys buy any of that merch, we're not making a dime off of this. We bring it up constantly because it gives us the opportunity to help out Wish Upon a Teen. The Red Shirt Widows and Orphans Fund is a pseudo charity that was set up in one of Drayton's books called Custodians of the Cosmos. And we have turned that into a very real charity. We just want to make sure that Wish Upon a Teen gets an opportunity. Yeah, see right there. There's bags, there's coffee cups, there's t-shirts, hoodies, phone cases.
Face mask?
There's face masks, stickers, pins, magnets. But yeah, it's it gives every it's a red shirt.
Red. It's just he's on Halloween.
It's these. I am directly underneath some fluorescent lighting, and it washes me out something awful. There's not much I can do about that. I'm gonna get my lights changed. We're gonna work around with this a little bit. We're still working through some stuff, Mark. I told you, come on. But yeah, if you guys have an opportunity and you guys want to support a good cause while getting some Star Trek themed merch, the Red Shirt Widows and Orphans Fund is a great way to do that. And I tell you what, we would appreciate it very much if you guys did that. But
Mark, your mug is in the mail. Did you receive that yet?
You didn't see his post?
No.
He posted it.
He posted it.
He posted a meme, in fact.
Appreciate that.
About his friend's cousin's uncle's father who got killed by some alien life force thing. I don't remember the exact wording, Mark. I'm paraphrasing. Sorry.
That was a very nice post.
That was really cool.
That was great.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm actually wearing pink, but it's kind of getting washed out, and I look white on this shirt. So
there you go. So yeah,
I got pink.
Well, hey, I always used to tease my dad because he would. Yeah,
Tim.
That's right. My dad used to wear pink, and he was always like, "It's not pink, it's salmon." I'm like, "Dude, come on, it's pink. Just run with it. It's all good." So, all right, hey, you guys have any questions for us? You guys? Questions, suggestions. If for those of you who have listened to the podcast, we like feedback. We'll take it.
Want to know our favorite food? Our favorite color? Well, mine's real close.
Washed out edition.
This is
Washed out edition. We're washed up. It's probably more.
Why we're funny.
I know. I'm going to answer one question. I know that it's been on a lot of people's minds ever since our podcast with Guy Sklanders.
Yes, and, I am this funny in real life.
No,
but that wasn't it.
No, the question about demented wombats. So here, I thought people would like to see an actual demented wombat. So I made this for you to go along with that visual image. It could be our mascot, a demented wombat mascot.
You got to watch the podcast because we laugh in that so hard. It is hilarious.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah. And
Jessica, our savior from last
hey,
night,
Jessica, our helper the other night when we were figuring this whole thing out, we did a little show and she was helping us out.
Came on and tested things for us. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
You gnomes ride wombat. There you go. You can see more demented wombat. I think that will be an actual key to our success if we ever have any. Is more demented wombats. It's like more cowbell, more demented
wombats.
And now with 50% more demented wombats. Oh, thank you, Kathleen.
Eating tater tots. Ooh, I have to hear that story.
There's a story there.
Rendition of singing voice when serenading tater tots.
So we may have met up with John and Kathleen and her parents out for a night of fun and revelry with food, and there may have been some stout beers involved as well. However, the location that we ate at had some wonderful loaded tater tots. And after a stout or two, I was encouraged by my own happiness to begin singing to my tater tots. And I don't remember what I was singing, but I do remember that I was singing. And anyway, but yeah, there was singing and there was tater tots. And there was Guinness involved, and it was
sing for us.
As long as the tater tots aren't singing back, you're still okay.
We had not achieved that level of Guinness, so we are good. So
you sang a little bit in Guy's podcasts.
I sing a lot.
Speaking of Guy, before I forget, some of us are going to actually be on Guy's live podcast this Saturday at what is it?
I believe it's going to be at 3 p.m.
3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time.
October 10th.
October 10th. Yeah, so we're going to be on there. We're going to be talking about sci-fi role-playing and how to have fun with that because, of course, we're sci-fi guys. And sci-fi guys, like to play sci-fi games. Wombat stuffed with tater tots down with Guinness.
That's going to be our next show, Mark. That's what you're watching.
Hey, I think we found the theme to a new restaurant chain.
Welcome to the
world's only demented wombat themed restaurant.
Still demented wombats too.
With karaoke.
Was it the gnomes singing while riding their interdimensional demented wombats to the tater tots? Followed with an uncomfortable destination afterwards, more than likely, yes.
Yes.
That's funny.
That's not only Guinness if the tots are singing. Jessica, you're not wrong.
Tots, you gotta sing.
They were phenomenal tater tots. I don't even John and Kathleen, if you guys are still on there, do you remember the name of the place? It was in Grand Rapids, Michigan somewhere. Just outside of Grand Rapids. I don't remember the name of it was like a little greasy spoon roadside bar.
The tater tot?
Yeah, for the wombat tater tots.
Trained battle dogs.
Gnomes ride trained battle dogs. Nice. But yeah, there may have been some singing, and we may bring that up from time to time. And
nothing like fun.
That's right.
That's hilarious.
New on Fox TV, wombats and tater tots.
And gnomes.
Now here's another thing we can do sometime if one of our guests is really brave and wants to grab a little spotlight with us. Some of these live streams, we're going to be inviting some folks to come on here, so you're not bored with us talking, and that we can have a little bit of fun, and you can tell a little bit about yourselves.
Yeah, so instead of recording a member spotlight, our hope is that we'll be able to live stream a member spotlight with somebody in one of the upcoming ones that we do of these. Because we're hoping to do these a little more regular now that we've got some software and we're kind of getting things a little figured out as to who's it, what's it, how's it, all the...
This is Dr. Seuss. Who's it, what's it?
It is now.
Dr. Seuss?
Dr. Hoos?
I don't know. Is Dr. Seuss sci-fi? Now we have to...
Dr. Hoos?
Dr. Hoos?
In the house.
Dr. Seuss?
Did we say that? We said that in our episode 0, wasn't it? When we talked about Dr.
That was Dr. Wen.
When Dr.
Whom? Dr. Whom?
We did both. We discussed the whole...
we discussed Dr. Whom earlier.
Yes. Dr. Whom and then Dr. Wen. Those are the sequels that did not do very well.
Yeah, Mark, we'll send a limo by for you to pick you up and bring you to the studio. Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm on the space shuttle, so it's a pretty long hitchhike up here.
To mention wombat education. I don't know that I would ever classify this as education.
Right.
Hey, if it's working for you, brother, I'm all about it.
Watch the guys.
We will be giving out degrees at the end of this.
Yeah, watch Guy Sklander's our podcast. That's where we talk about that.
You will get an education in wombats.
Your head off. We have
unusual places, gnomes and unusual
gnomes and wombats. 1 tot, 2 tot.
Oh, there you go. There's Dr.
red tots, blue tots. So red
Nice.
tots have ketchup on them. What do blue tots have on them? Blue cheese.
Blue cheese. Ew.
Oh.
Yeah.
1 tot, 2 tot, red tot, blue tots.
They use blue potatoes.
One fish.
They have blue potatoes. They have purple potatoes. I haven't seen blue potatoes.
They do have purple potatoes. There's your name.
Oh, there's your name. Riverbend Bar and
Alto, Michigan.
Alto. Okay. Well.
Yeah, Alto's just outside of Grand Rapids, so that would make sense.
Whitewash edition.
Whitewash edition. Demented Wombats, the White Album. Blue mold. There you go. I don't know. Moldy tater tots. Not really my cuisine.
I don't know that you've ever had them, so how would you know you don't like them?
What, moldy? Moldy? I can guess right off that I wouldn't like moldy tater tots.
Hold on. I'm going to think about it. No. Actually, if we use the response that we were given in our interview yesterday, it would be hell no. with the zero hesitation.
Who are we interviewing?
Blue mold must be their first single.
Single. Sounds like a song. What song was it?
Blue mold.
Like Blue Moon?
Yeah, blue mold. There we go. Yeah, this tie is, we have to wear ties on the space shuttle.
It's a standard shuttle.
You can attach them so that you don't float away.
But on Tatooine, we wear pinkish red shirts.
Yeah, it's an emergency thing.
It's an emergency thing. You have an oxygen mask hooked to the bottom of it.
Right. Well, one of the things
There's so much light because of the two suns, it washes us. I can't do anything about it.
Right?
Yeah. Well, when you're on Tatooine, the sun's going to wash out your red shirt.
That's true.
You'd think I'd have a better tan for 2 suns, though.
That's true. You know what, though? You got to be careful of corn mold because you could get into smut. Corn smut,
Maybe the two suns, Tim, they just cancel each other out. You get burned with one and the other one cancels it out. Sci-fi. It could be anything.
Right? You could have a sun and an anti-sun.
I'm sorry, what were you talking about? Blue mold, Al?
Well, you could get into smut because when corn gets moldy, they call it smut.
That's the first I've ever heard of that, but sure.
You haven't? Oh, well, I can show you a picture.
No, I'm good. My mom told me to stay away from the smut.
I have the internet. We can go there.
He wants Elon's car.
Just be careful when you Google smut.
That's exactly why I wasn't going to Google it.
It's a thing.
I don't think that was supposed to pop up on my screen.
Well, you never expect the Spanish Inquisition. It's supposed to be a delicacy. Here we go.
Corn should be fermented, not molded. I'm a king prawn.
Let's see if this works. Corn smut recipe. Bada bing. Here is corn smut.
It's blue.
It is blue.
Ew.
So there you go. People find it delicious.
No.
I would not do it.
You know what? I'm sorry. That picture all the way to the right, it looks like 5 nasty toenails all lined up side by side.
Right?
There's not an ice cube's chance of putting that anywhere near my face.
Not exactly my.
Oh, Lord, that's disgusting.
Maybe that's too much reality for this science fiction group.
Yeah, that's
too much science, not enough fiction.
That's like alien corn from another planet.
Too much science, not enough fiction. Hey, we're about halfway through, and we've talked way too far about corn smut at this point. So, if you guys have any questions for us, please start firing them away in the comments, and we'll do our best to answer them. If you have suggestions about the podcast, fire them away in there too.
We've been debating in many of our podcasts our Muppets science fiction. Is that what we talk about that?
Yeah, that's another major point of
another major quandary. I mean, Yoda is a Muppet.
So Muppet, and Muppets, the Muppet from Outer Space was, of course, Gonzo.
Right, Gonzo. Pigs in space, Muppets from space. Luke Skywalker would eat something like that.
Oh, here's I'm gonna highlight this question real quick, Deb. So hold tight.
All right, where is it? Find the question.
Kathleen has a question. Best sci-fi to introduce to a 2-year-old.
Muppets in space.
Muppets in space. Yeah. No, honestly, Muppets in space.
Fraggle Rock. I don't know.
Fraggle Rock would be Fraggle Rock.
They are Muppets, but I don't think they're sci-fi.
But you know what? We're probably wrong. Our 2-year-old. Last time we had a 2-year-old was like the 90s, so things have changed a little since then. Yeah, right. Thank you. That's a good idea, Jessica. Farscape Muppets.
What's Farscape Muppets? Is Farscape Muppets a thing?
Farscape Muppets? I don't know. They did do the Thunderbirds. Remember the Thunderbirds, which were the puppets?
Oh, Labyrinth. Labyrinth is not a 2-year-old kid show. That kid's getting stolen in that movie.
Yeah, I mean, that's like nightmare fuel.
I would give that to my 2-year-old. Maybe it's old.
Mostly seeing David Bowie run around in a cod piece, I think, is mostly scary for anybody.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, so I would think Muppets in space. Any honestly, what's the couple of Star Wars cartoons? There's
Lego Star Wars.
The Lego Star Wars would be good
for a 2-year-old.
Yeah, Star Wars Rebels, Star Wars Renegades. The early episodes of Star Wars Clone Wars would be okay because those don't, there's laser guns and things firing, but you don't really, there's nothing that's going to be traumatizing to a young child, I would think.
Drew said the Sesame Street yip yips. I don't know who are they. The yip. Are that who they are? Also, Keith Silverstone did one of the singing zebra voices, did he not? Wasn't that one of him he did on Sesame Street?
Yes.
So
yeah, the rapping zebra.
Yeah.
Rapping zebra. We'll learn about that tomorrow.
Yep.
Yeah. So tomorrow, 6 a.m.
podcast.
Keith Silverstein.
Yeah, you don't have to get up at 6 a.m. to watch the podcast. You can watch it anytime.
Yeah, all day. It'll be in YouTube when you're comfortable to watch it.
Yeah, it won't be live at 6 a.m. It just
Mushroom guy. Is he a Muppet? A Muppet in Farscape.
Oh yeah, I remember now. Yeah, that flat-headed guy. I know who you mean.
I want to see what he looks like. I can't remember what he looks like.
No.
Okay. Did I see Farscape?
I don't think I've ever watched Farscape. I never got into it.
There's a Muppet in Farscape, flathead mushroom guy. I gotta see what he looks like. That's cool.
I have it up once I figure out how to do it. All right, here we go. Bada bing.
Oh, that guy.
Oh yeah.
Google to the rescue.
Ziggy the rapping zebrasaurus. Thank you, Nick.
Thanks, Nick.
Yep, that's right.
Our shadow mage is commenting from the great beyond.
Nick is our son. He does our editing.
Yeah, he does all our recording, editing. Their son, not mine. That would be awkward.
He does a great job.
He does.
Yeah, he does. He does a really good job. Very conscientious about his work. He does his best to make every episode look good.
Oh,
Alf.
Awesome.
Alf is a lot of fun.
I love Alf.
Unless the child is really a cat fan, then that might be a problem.
Yeah, because Alf, Alf is good though. Alf is fun.
Alf has a lot of cat recipes.
Very family oriented.
Yeah.
Except for cat families.
Nick got a shout out. So Nate,
what up, Nick?
Our group, because Nate's one of our guys. He's also our son.
Yeah, Nate's gonna hop on. So
It's all my men and Tim because it's my husband.
He's our shadow boss. You've got to earn your points to get one of his shows in.
Alpha's scary. Well, that's the wrong one I wanted. Oh, Jessica said Alpha's scary. I'm sorry, my chat moved.
Oh, okay.
So
Alpha's scary. Why is Alf scary? I guess he could be scary. You could learn cooking skills from Alf. He does blow the kitchen up, I think.
Several times, I think, in fact. I would let her watch Alf, but her dad is still.
Yeah, see, that's the problem. It's okay for the kids, but not for the dad.
I feel like there's a story here that John and Kathleen are going to have to catch me up on. Watch Alf as a child. Something blowtorch. Okay.
Something blowtorch. Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, there's definitely a story here. Okay. That sounds like a live chat for another time.
Nick said hi back to you.
Or some therapy. Something to work out in therapy, perhaps.
Would you like to tell me why you're here? something blowtorch.
Was Nick joining us? Was he coming in for a little bit?
No, I think he's just chatting down below in the comments.
That's Nick.
Yeah, I think he's just watching and chatting.
Oh. Okay. Let me
Nate was said he would come in.
I'm gonna get Nathan coming here, and anybody else is.
Let's see. I'm moving on a little more of a sci-fi question. Is there a series you feel like fans are not trashing in the world of social media? I love a lot of them that get trashed. Unfortunately, no, because we live in a time and an age where everybody, if they don't like something, they trash it, and I think that's the unfortunate thing, because now as many of you guys may already know, I'm not the biggest Star Trek fan. I jokingly make fun of Star Trek, but it's not a serious thing. And I think that there's so many people out there that are willing to just trash something that they don't like. So unfortunately, Drew, I don't think that there's a universally accepted sci-fi series out there where everybody thinks it's great.
Yeah, if there's anything that there's not lacking, is enough hate in the world.
Hey, it's Nate Vaughn. Scooter Cat.
The only thing that people aren't trashing are things that are so small and old and minor that no one cares enough to trash anymore.
Right.
Like no one's, except for the gal who's afraid of Alf. Like I don't hear anyone anymore. Like I hate Alf. He's awful.
Except PETA people.
Right.
Which is odd because pita bread is definitely a choice when it comes to making cats sandwiches. So
where he stays.
Oh, yeah. Now you had to remind me of that episode. That was a tearjerker.
And she dies and says based on true story. Which episode are we talking about?
Is that Alf?
That's the Alf where he this girl.
Oh, that one is sad.
That one? Oh, it was super sad. And then she died.
I'll have to go back and watch some of that.
I don't really remember those episodes as much. Do you guys remember the one where Alf was in the neighbor's house with the SWAT team outside?
Yeah, that was great.
And the neighbors were all counting, tear gas.
You know what? I like the movie. A lot of people didn't like the movie, but I enjoyed it. You can't expect the movie to live up to the book, and that book was classic.
John Carter was amazing.
I keep saying that's a movie I keep saying I'm going to watch.
You really need to, Tim. Like, that was one of the movies I had no expectations coming in and never read the book. And when I had watched it, I was just floored by how clever the writing was.
Well, and this the guy who, when that was written, that is like, I'm drawing a blank on the guy. It's the guy who wrote Tarzan. It's the guy who wrote
James Earl Jones.
Yeah, James Earl Ray.
I was going to say, wait a minute. It's not James Earl Jones.
That's not.
Princess of Mars.
Isn't it Jules Verne?
Is the novel.
Darth Vader has written a very
Ron Carter was the.
We're showing how terribly cultured we are.
People eating of tasty.
Only we had some sort of
Kathleen.
database at our fingertips.
All right. So let's go back.
If only there was a searchable, usable thing.
Edgar Rice Burroughs.
Edgar Rice Burroughs, yes.
Yeah, Mark said not 100%. I like Discovery and Picard, but had issues with some of the elements of both. Critique is how we improve. Yeah, Mark, you're right. That is how we improve. But there's a difference, though, between critique and bashing just to bash. And I think that that's sometimes what happens is we get some people out there who just bash just to bash.
Yeah, not good.
So they can be adversarial. But,
right.
You're 100% right. Critique is how we improve. Absolutely.
Stick with fun, not bashing.
What's Drew saying here? All right. Drew says Tracy Lords was in Princess of Mars, not John Carter, but they are novels in succession from different perspectives. Okay.
I didn't see Princess of Mars. I know those were the original books, and but what can I say?
35 cents a strip.
Wombat
jerky.
Yeah, he's selling his at a discount. We're trying to get at least 65 cents a strip for ours.
Sounds like Mark is profiting from the fires in Australia.
Spotlights. So you would laugh.
35 cents a strip. Speaking of which, I had kangaroo jerky.
Right?
It tastes a lot like all other jerky.
Did you find it to be a little bouncy?
Yes. It's very bouncy.
Very bouncy. Bouncy.
What'd you say it tasted like, Nate?
What was that, Ma?
What'd you say it tasted like?
I said it was bound. Oh, I said it tasted like all other jerky. Oh my goodness, Dad. Why?
That's the
what did you
Google?
Demented wombat?
No, I found a nice picture of a wombat, and I photoshopped it into something a little more demented.
That's much worse that it came out of your imagination and not someone else's.
But that's a little scary, isn't it?
Great with blue
tater tots.
Wombat jerky. Hey, I hadn't thought of that combo.
Oh my goodness.
That's going to be a hard pass.
The last one.
Suffered the Matrix and continuation of the franchise. Tracy Lords.
Okay.
Interesting.
What?
I'm trying to remember that one.
Yeah, that's cool.
What's funny is we had a recent post, a rare oddity, 10th Kingdom post.
Right? I saw that.
I was like, oh my gosh. Like, if anyone's going
to know,
okay, Debbie's parents who live with us play that about once every 3 weeks.
Do they really? That's awful.
They have it on DVD.
Once a year, maybe.
You know how funny it is to hear my mom go suck an elf.
Oh, no.
Suck an elf.
The other day she goes, what's a YouTube?
What's a YouTube?
It's on the Google. She says, what's a YouTube?
Butcher shop.
On Google. Nice.
Oh, it's too funny.
The jerky outlet has
jerky outlet. Yeah.
Crocodile, kangaroo, elf.
Yeah.
You're going to have to ask them about wombats, Kathleen.
Yeah, they don't have wombats. What kind of store are they anyways,
Yeah, right.
First human was brought down into the butcher shop to be eaten. Annoying.
I don't know what's going on, Drew. Are you blink twice?
You need help. You need relish, yes.
Can you just end one of our episodes that we just recorded? You said Soylent Green is people.
Soylent Green is people.
John McFor, where they kill his pet wombat and he neutralizes an army of bad guys only with tater tots. Blue tater tots, sir. Blue tater tots.
on the plate.
Am I missing something with the blue tater tots?
Yeah, you came in
you
late.
came in after the blue
I
tater.
came in
We were
I think,
talking about smut too, and you missed all the smut conversation.
oh no.
No. There was no we in that conversation. That was a you thing.
I was, yes.
Your dad even Googled smut.
I even showed smut on the screen. I Googled it, and we had smut all over the screen.
Oh no, that's awful.
Honestly, it looks like nasty toenails, apparently.
Nice. 10th Kingdom is a nice show. It's kind of cool. What?
In fact, I think we need more smut. I think that is
No more smut.
I'm just saying, out of context, this sounds awful.
Don't show those dirty toenails.
Is this what smut is? Is it the type of blue corn?
Can we just go ahead and remove him from the stream? That's something we can do, right?
Smut is something that, yes.
I'm not sure.
It's a delicacy. Some people love to eat it.
Drew, I'm not familiar with 10th Kingdom either, so I also have some homework.
10th Kingdom is
10th Kingdom is quite funny.
It was a miniseries released in the early 2000s with graphics to accompany it as such, but all in all, it was pretty funny.
With graphics to accompany, nice.
It was not as bad as a sci-fi original, like that bad, but
it's the kingdoms of Snow White and all them, but they're all come to real life. But it's a nice version. It's not a kid's version at all.
And there was 2 or 3 really outstanding named actors in it. Actors.
James Earl Jones.
The guy Married with Children. Hilarious.
He was the elf.
He was the king of the elves, or the king of the goblins.
Her father, the main character's father. He was somebody.
Who played the king of the dwarves? Was it Conan O'Brien?
John. Who's that? Conan
O'Brien played the king of the dwarves.
Yeah, but they had some really good. John Larroquette was the father.
Oh yeah.
Being the 10th Kingdom, where they get some of the fictional characters go into real life and they trade back and forth characters. So it's really good.
Yeah, it's kind of. I think that the TV show Once Upon a Time was kind of inspired by that. That
was Once Upon a Time was like if Lost and the 10th Kingdom had a baby.
Exactly, that's a good way to put it. Yeah.
Egads,
I feel old. Sorry, Drew.
I'm glad you said old because I thought you said I'm feeling odd, and I was like, "What's name?"
Yeah, sorry.
So it was funny. Old. Yeah.
I just want to point something out, Drew. Egads is not a word that's used enough.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
it does not get enough airtime. It really doesn't. It's a cool word.
Anytime you can slip the words egads and shenanigans into the conversation, you have to. If it pops in your head, you have to say it.
Can you even spell shenanigans?
Not without a spell checker.
SHENNIGANAS. Shenanigans.
Zoinks.
And if you notice, if you're paying attention, I just misspelled shenanigans on purpose.
Did you?
Yes.
Just a second. Let me tap on that gauge here. Is it better now?
So I want to ask our listeners, what do you think is the ultimate humorous science fiction in the market, or has ever been written?
Egads.
Egads.
Sorry, Nate.
Ultimate funny
because
sci-fi.
To me, I can't help but think of Douglas Adams. I can't think that, and when it comes to funny science fiction in general, I feel like Douglas Adams really was the pinnacle. Hitchhiker's Guide, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, that's exactly what I think of right there, and it's just
put this up here.
And I encourage people. My favorite way to enjoy Hitchhiker's Guide is the original radio drama, because that's where it started. It actually was not a novel. It was a radio drama that was novelized because it was so popular. And it's become, it's become even more so. But they had some very fun sound effects that went along with everything because it was like an old time radio drama, but it was from the 70s.
I was doing the Muppet shenanigans, do 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 do, but I'm doing Baby Shark, do 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 do.
All right, mute her. That's a banning.
Baby Shark. Shall we post? Yeah, we do a sing along.
Oh yeah, the movie. Hey, I'm glad they made a stab at it, but there's just no way that it can ever come comparison to any of the original material, unfortunately. And the hard part is the narrative is such a better way to experience his writing and the way he wrote it, both the radio play as well as the novel. Just because
you have to experience all of it. You have to go through all of them.
I just performed the Baby Shark song in Walmart the other day. I'm a kid, so I was playing the little shark, and I was.
Were you asked not to come back?
Right.
You can't go to Walmart anymore either.
And I'll be kicked out of Myers. I'm probably in the minority here, as far as the
Facebook user.
Greetings.
Welcome aboard.
I like how greetings is like the most alien way possible to like.
Greetings.
Now, if you want to show your name, you got to go to the StreamYard thingy and download.
Otherwise, just let us know who you are.
Otherwise, we just we'll call
what
you 62 or something.
I will say that I'm probably in the minority here, as far as when it comes to Hitchhiker's Guide. Not a fan.
Not a fan.
Have you? Okay, what is your experience with Hitchhiker?
My experience, though, is that I could not stand the movie.
Yeah, that's exactly the point.
The movie,
you should not have even watched it without reading any of the original material.
I had read a warning at the beginning of the movie.
There should be an FBI warning.
Yeah, I had read a little bit of some Douglas Adams stuff prior to that, not a whole lot. But I had other friends who would tell me, "Oh man, if you're into, it's my dad. He's my papa.
It's your daddy.
It's my papa." But I had friends like, "Oh, you're into sci-fi and you like funny stuff. You'll love this. You got to watch this movie." I got
too lazy to read. Go do the BBC miniseries.
That's an hour of because I didn't finish the whole movie. I shut the movie off. In fact, it's an hour of my life I will never get back.
Because none of it it's a his humor is kind of nonsensical, and that only works when you've gone long. It's a 4-book trilogy
I believe it's a 6-book trilogy.
I
think I have it.
Doesn't the word trilogy and mean 3?
Yeah, that is the joke, Tim. You found it. Good job.
As long as we know it's a joke.
Yes. I'm not as dumb as you thought I think I was.
You're welcome.
Baby Shark song, yes. This is
what
was responsible for the whole 2020 thing, I figured out, was that they released the movie Cats in December of 2019.
That was it. Long Dark Tea Time of the Soul.
I love Long Dark Tea Time of the Soul. The whole, Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency. I love the bit with his housekeeper, and they have the whole thing going where they have this unspoken thing where he doesn't think she's cleaning the refrigerator, so he wets his fingers and sticks a piece of hair across the refrigerator to figure out, so he'll prove whether or not she actually cleaned the refrigerator while he was gone. But he comes home and he finds that the hair is still there, except it's been moved down 4 inches.
Right.
So she is onto him.
John says the movie was the Vogon poetry adaptation of the book for Hitchhiker's Guide.
Yes, exactly. That's great, John.
Nice.
Poor Tim. I feel Tim's like left out so much.
I'm good. I'm catching up. I'm catching up. Well, and the closest I can come to this is that, I think of like the movie adaptation of Ready Player One. Okay, so the book is so much more of an expansive universe, and there's so much that got left out of that book to condense it down into a movie.
Another older example is Dune, which they are making another new shot at. Hopefully they'll do better than the last attempt. But Dune, an amazing series of books. And
isn't there already 2 movies for Dune?
Movies just chopped it into little pieces, and they threw in Sting without a shirt. So that was just,
So I've always wanted to read this series.
42-page paper, Douglas Adams. Well played.
I wrote something.
How dry was the book series?
Dry?
I heard that there's a lot of like.
It was dry. It is. And a lot of people don't like the book because it's an omnipotent viewpoint.
Okay.
Where they head hop all the time, and you're in everybody's head. So it's a really unique choice in books. It's one of the few books that was written that way that actually worked. But some people, don't like it. But it was very interesting way of approaching a story that not too many authors have been able to master.
Hilarious.
So Nick mentions a good point. Men in Black was pretty funny sci-fi.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah,
that was pretty funny sci-fi that come out.
Right. And then there's a couple others. I mean, Galaxy Quest.
Yeah, Galaxy Quest is up.
Love
in
Galaxy
regards to film, I think I would rate Galaxy Quest as number 1. Men in Black, number 2.
From the Chop Piece of Epic Sci-Fi. It is 8:00. We've been doing this for an hour now, so I don't know if others.
We're a perfectly good hour of your life.
We're going to wrap up here in just a moment here, fellas. But any quick last questions for us about the podcast? Any suggestions for guests, people that you would like to see us have on? If you've got those, type those in quick, and we'll go on here for about another 5 minutes or so, just to give you guys an opportunity to get your last questions or things in.
Galaxy
and if
Quest.
anybody recommends that we get regular day jobs, we already have them. Sorry. It's not going to help. We're doing this as a hobby, so.
I didn't allow you to wrap up.
My wife is going to overrule you, Mark, and she's much cuter.
Uh-oh. Well.
It's funny. So we want to do more of these live shows.
Fun. Well, thanks for joining us, Nate. That was I'm glad you
that was fun, guys. Hey, thanks for having me.
Oh, the Orville. Well, we'll give a little bit of honorable mention to the Orville. They're trying.
Yeah, I think they're trying very hard, hitting the mark.
Some of them have worked.
I'll buy better makeup.
I watched the first few episodes of Discovery, watched the first few episodes of the Orville, and was like, I know which one I'll be watching.
Right?
Right.
Yeah, Discovery.
It wasn't Discovery.
Getting back to Discovery and Picard both, I really don't like the miniseries approach. I like episodic Star Trek. I like going. The whole idea is, if I wanted long stories, long boring stories, I'd watch Star Trek over and over and over. Tim, but
I watch Star Trek for the same reason: long, boring stories over and over and over again. Right?
Or I'd watch Star Wars, long, boring stories over and over. No, just
you mean long?
If you don't have the class and patience for it, it's all right.
Do we have a time frame that we can do? We're going to tell our friends we're going to do another one of these, or have we not set that up?
We're talking about this every 2 weeks.
Yeah, once every 2 weeks, and I think that's probably enough to make sure that we're not overwhelming people and not boring people, and so that we all actually have something to talk about as well. Because otherwise, it's going to be us sitting here twiddling our thumbs, going, "So what do you guys got going?
What you want to do? What's the dinner, man?"
And I think too, some of the upcoming chats, just so that the people who are listening know, some of the upcoming chats will have no more smut.
Yeah,
we're gonna ban you.
I need to watch more Deep Space Nine. I have not watched as much of it as I should.
Well, at 3 a.m. tonight. I don't know about all that. But what we'll do is we'll have themed episodes where we're going to talk about this show or maybe that show or some things like that. So we can kind of, tonight was just kind of an introduction and making sure that we worked out all the kinks in this stinking software. and that we are kind of all on the same page as to where we're going and how we're doing this. But so just as a quick wrap-up reminder for all you guys, if you haven't subscribed yet to our YouTube channel for the podcast, please go do so.
Yeah.
If you need a link to that, we will make sure that there's one posted in our Facebook group in the chat. For those of you who are watching on YouTube right now, if you haven't subscribed already, please do so. If you want to do a member spotlight, please contact any of the four of us that you see on the screen. The wombats are okay. We'll allow those, even the Dominican. But let's take some time to make sure that we get as many of you guys in for member spotlights as possible. Yeah. I think John and Kathleen both said that they were willing to do member spotlight. We've got Larry Wallenmeyer coming in. We've got episodes. Yeah, we already recorded with Mark. Yeah. We're going to have his up well, tomorrow is Keith Silverstein's episode. The following week will be Mark's member spotlight when that will come out. So just another week, Mark, and then you get to drop all those memes you've been trying to push through. I've been sitting back going, hold on.
In September,
our
subscribers grew by 800% in September.
That's right.
What?
Yeah, exactly. Drew, like,
subscribe, from 0 to
click the like our stuff, subscribe to our page, click the alert button, so anytime something new comes out, YouTube will tell you all about it. And Deb is holding up a very lovely mug.
Not your medical alert button, because that'll summon. I'm falling and I can't get up.
It's a very important point. Please do not, if you have a medical alert band or necklace, please do not push it and hoping that you're going to get something from Funny Sci-Fi. You're going to get something, but it's not going to be funny and it's not going to be sci-fi. So,
right. But
it will be men in uniform.
That is the one solid in that. There will definitely be men in uniform. Unhappy men in uniform at that point.
If you haven't seen the Rex thing, he does talk about having a medical situation in his costume. So that's kind of interesting to think about.
Yeah.
He was fortunate, however, Demented Wombat has never entered his costume. He would be
a big Demented Wombats with Rex. No.
Any run-ins with Demented Wombats is always an awful thing, no matter.
For a limited time.
Unless you are the Demented Wombat, it's always a negative experience.
Right.
And don't forget, for a limited time, get your $5 off that hand blender.
Yes. All right. Let me try it this time.
Now we got it.
All right. Here it is.
Where's that noise coming
from? The pre-cordless lightsaber.
It's a corded lightsaber.
A corded lightsaber. See, and I haven't plugged it in for safety reasons because I would dismember someone's finger.
All I can imagine, honestly, is that somebody, is like, back in my day, our lightsabers were corded. We were tethered to the base unit, and we were happy about it.
Exactly.
You know what's funny about that lightsaber is most replica lightsabers actually can't cause bodily harm. This one can.
Right? This one you do, and it also causes harm if you use it to mix drinks and drink irresponsibly.
Is that family friendly a biker gang?
Don't.
Gang.
A biker gang called the Demented Wombats.
No, biker gang. Biker gang.
Gang. I think we better run out and get the trademark.
All right, we should wrap up here. I think Mom's done now.
Yeah. We are at 8:08.
I think that top right corner of our screen has been making herself some blended drinks. So,
well, thanks everybody for joining the Funny Science Fiction Podcast live stream. This has been a blast, and it's time to sign off with our usual GIF montage. Talk to you later. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.